It's nice to see everybody, although I have my smartphone, so I can only see 4 people at a time. So I have to pick and choose my audience here, I guess. Um, it's different. It's really different doing this kind of talk. And at the same time, I'm like super grateful because I miss all of you so much. And I miss being a part of it where we get our hugs and just connect in the ways through the eyes and just feeling each other's love and support for each other, especially at a time like this. It's so hard to, you know, it's so hard to just not be a part of the hugging and the touching and just being with people at a time when it feels like we need it the most. But thankfully, thank God that we have this kind of technology that we still get to see each other, even if it is video camera or phones or laptops, whatever it is. So the title of my talk today is Using Pain, Using Fear as a Tool for Awakening. And I don't think this has ever been more true than needed more than today. So I want to read something that Eckhart Tolle had wrote that I really liked. It says, when you become comfortable with uncertainty, infinite possibilities open up in your life. It means fear is no longer a dominant factor in what you do and no longer prevents you from taking action to initiate change. I totally love that so much because I think when I look at, you know, the stress in my life, and you guys, I think most of you have heard me say, stress is wanting life to be different than what it is. As soon as we want life to be different, then immediately stress enters our world, suffering enters our world. So we have to be conscious of the choices that we make. Now, all of a sudden, this pesky thing called the coronavirus presents itself, and we're really forced into looking at our lives in a different way. And part of that is, excuse me, because let's see here. I want to, okay, sorry. So part of it, facing our fears is really not trying to push them away or get rid of them. A lot of you saw the documentary at Interfaith a couple months ago by Ram Dass, and there's one of my biggest takeaways that I took from that was when we have pain or we have fear in our lives, what do we generally try to do? We try to find a way to get rid of it. And it's the very antithesis of what is needed to heal it. Now, it doesn't mean that we can't take action to heal and grow and expand, but the truth is, all of a sudden we're presented with something in life. We're presented with something in life and we have the choice to either embrace it or we have the chance to push it away. But I know that by pushing it away is only going to add to the stress and the chaos in our lives and the suffering in our lives. Probably about 25 years ago, I was doing energy healing work and I was leading a meditation group. And I invited everybody just to let go of anything that they had going on. And somebody did indeed let go of something she had going on. And whether, you know, some of you believe this or not believe this, it's okay. You don't have to believe anything I say. You can just try it on and see if it fits and works for you. But in any case, she dropped this very dark energy off into my home where I was having the meditation at. And as an energy healer, I was conscious, I was aware of something being in there that really felt quite horrible. So also as an energy healer, I was clearing out energies like I quite often do, only I couldn't clear this one out. It had gotten the best of me. It bested me in a place where I was just really, not only was I afraid, but I ended up getting into this place of paranoia. And so this went on for a couple of weeks and it was very intense. It was something that I physically could feel, this angry, this dark energy that was around me all the time. And I guess I had watched too many movies like Exorcist and some of those others that bring out those fears in us. It's like, because we're all terrified of the unknown, right? We're terrified of the unknown because we don't know what this coronavirus or anything else is going to bring us. But the fear is because we're stepping into the future and we're worrying about it. We're worrying about something that we truly don't know about. So as I was just sorting through how to handle this dark energy in the house, a couple weeks went by, and I was dating Laura, my wife now, but I was dating her at the time, and said, hey, can we just get away? We went up to Traverse City, and part of me was afraid I was going to carry it with me, the energy that I had tried to clear out so many times, but it just kept coming right back, because there was a part of me that was afraid and just attracted it right back to me. And we know that fear attracts things, so any case, so we went away for a long weekend. We came back, and it helped me to shift my perspective enough where I could say, all right, God, I don't know how to clear this out, but I know this. I'm not willing to run anymore. I'm tired of running. I'm tired of being afraid. I'm tired of being stressed. So do whatever you need to do. I want, and I'm ready to heal this. So as soon as I said that, and again, some of you may believe it or not, it's okay. But as soon as I said that, I felt this energy coming in me, and I go, oh boy, what did I do here? And I was scared because, again, it was the unknown. I didn't know what to expect. So this energy, I physically feel something enter in me. And I said, okay, you know what? I'm all right. I'm all right. I haven't gone anywhere. I'm still here. And so this went on for, I don't know, maybe about 5 or 6 days. And after that time, I thought, nothing has taken me over like The Exorcist or something. Nothing has taken me over. I'm still here, and I'm okay. I'm stressed. I'm tired, but I'm okay. And it was at that point in time I realized that God is bigger than all of this. God is bigger than all of this. And I've got God on my side. And as we dive into deeper truths, what I know, not only is God on my side, but I am one with God. That God essence of who I am is bigger than it as well, because we're created in the likeness and the image of God. We are that. So when I had that awareness, that realization, I cleared the energy out, and it never, ever came back. Everybody handles this whole virus thing differently. Some people handle things by changing within, knowing that our outer world changes. I see a lot of people doing, external things. And it doesn't have to be that you do one or the other. But I would say this, that if we're coming from a place of fear, my experience is that I never make the best choices out of fear, because it's always afraid of, what will happen to me. It's all about the future and the worries of the unknown. But what if that we were able to move beyond those fears into that deeper truth of who we are? Because after all, who is threatened out of this? Who is threatened out of this? Who are you? Who are you? Are you your body? Are you your mind? Because I know that when I'm connecting with that God essence of who I am, that is beyond body and beyond mind, that place that is the kingdom within, some would call it, or freedom, or enlightenment, awakening. I don't care what the term is. It doesn't matter to me. But at that deeper place, when I feel home, I know that the virus is completely irrelevant in my life. It's irrelevant from the aspect that it can harm my body, it could harm my mind, but it can never harm the truth of who I am. And when I'm rooted in that truth, there is everything that is possible. The infinite is possible, because we are intimately connected with God in that moment. So during this whole thing with the virus going on, I made a choice. And some of you might not agree with this choice, and that is perfectly fine. Everybody has to approach this from a place of where they feel best to make that choice. But I do know this: anytime that we're riddled in fear and we don't move beyond it, then we are limited from the action that we can take, and limited to the possibilities of protecting ourselves, healing ourselves, or whatever. So there's something that has been a common thread that I've heard a lot of teachers say, and that is the mystic philosopher Krishnamurti. He said to an audience one time, he said, "I have a secret to tell you." And he whispered, "I don't care what happens to me. I don't care what happens to me," meaning that he had complete trust and faith in, and actually Krishnamurti was not a believer in God, but he had moved beyond the body and mind, and he had stepped in this place of awakening. So he wasn't even referring to a God perspective, but he trusted life. So whether you say you completely trust that life will bring you what you want, or that God will bring you what you want, it doesn't matter. It's all good, whatever works for you. But for me, the more I have trust and faith that everything is unfolding so that I can awaken to the truth of who I am. Because that's our purpose for all of us here. We are all here to awaken to the truth of who we are. I want to also say that Eckhart Tolle had said something similar with regard to what Krishnamurti had said. I was trying to think of what the quote was. I'll go back to what my teacher had said. And he said, "The path of the sage is ruthless. There simply are no boundaries." This is how I've been at least attempting to live my life for the last couple of years, boundaryless, like just really surrendering in the complete capacity that and ability that I can over to God, over to that deeper truth of who I am, and saying, you know what, if you want to bring the coronavirus to me, then so be it. I trust God that whatever you bring me, it's going to be for my greatest good, and there will be something for me to learn. Now, I understand some of you would probably be raising your hands right now, or if the mics were unmuted, they'd say, I don't know about that. So it's, again, wherever you are, it's important to acknowledge that. But I know for me, when I said that to God, and I said, you know what, you bring whatever you want to bring, Father, because I trust that you are bringing me what is for my greatest good. And when I said, let thy will be my will, I meant it. And so whatever thy will is for me, I trust and have faith that it will be exactly what I need. You know, when I first made that commitment, it wasn't easy, because I thought, wow, opening that door for God to bring whatever I want, I thought, man, I could lose an arm, or I could get in a car accident, or I could lose one of my loved ones. It opens the door for anything to happen. But the beautiful thing is, it has deepened my trust and my faith in unbelievable ways, because there is this tremendous, tremendous freedom of surrendering into life, surrendering into God, surrendering into the infinite possibilities that can support us in awakening to that truth of who we are. So I love it. This whole thing, and I will say, there was somebody, for those of you who follow Muji online on YouTube, there was somebody from Hong Kong that had wrote him a letter, and he was at one of his satsangs with a community of a lot of people there, and she said, I couldn't join you because the flights are canceled from Hong Kong, and I'm so scared of this coronavirus, and I don't know what to do. And what Muji said, he said a couple things. He said, one was, be mindful of who is afraid. Is it you, the truth of who you are, that's afraid, or is it your mind that's caught up in fear and worry of the unknown? Is it your mind that's caught up in the fear and the worry of the unknown? because that's what fear is, right? It's worrying about what the possible outcome would be. And in our mind, it's not an outcome that we want. So seeing that the more we can be mindful and aware of all of our fears, all of our thoughts about this, the more we can just be aware of it. It's like, oh, okay, I'm noticing that my mind is just chattering and saying, oh my God, what is going to happen? Am I going to lose my job? Of which I did. Both Laura and I both lost our jobs because we're in the restaurant industry. And you know what? I've never felt more at peace. I've never felt, I don't think I felt more inner joy than what I'm feeling now. And I'm excited because the other thing Muji said was, he said, this coronavirus is a super booster for awakening. It's a super booster for awakening because, look, we can all go along in our lives in kind of this la da 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 da, you know, kind of thing. And we can all survive. We can all get by. But is that what we really want? Do we really want to just survive and get by? I don't. I want to thrive. I want to experience the bliss and the joy of God. And we all have that opportunity. And I would say this, I say this a lot in my talks, but it's so pertinent for all of us. And that is, we have to give up this waiting for something to happen in order to be happy. Can you do that right now? Would you be willing to let go of your need for something else to happen in order to be happy? What if that peace, that joy, that God essence is there within you right now in this moment, but it's only your fears, your limited beliefs, your worries that block you from experiencing that truth? In my meditations, I always focusing on emptying out control, emptying out the self-image of who we think we are. Because when you discover that you are not the thoughts about who you are and that you're beyond that, then you begin to see and connect with that deeper truth that is invincible. It's invincible because it's our God essence of who we are that can never be defeated by anything, no virus or anything else. For me, I have a lot of friends that they're taking external actions, and again, that may be exactly what you need to do and what you're being called to do. So I'm sharing my approach that feels right and true for me, and that is to continue to raise my vibration to a level of love that is so powerful that there is not any single virus or darkness that can sustain it. When Eckhart Tolle was talking about healing darkness, he said, you know, so many people, he said, it's like walking into a dark room and you're punching at the darkness, right? You're not accomplishing anything when all you need to do is simply turn on the light. Can you turn on the light? Can you open your heart? Can you let go of all this craziness of the mind, knowing that that's what the mind does? It gets busy and it wants to create worry and stress. But what if you're not your thoughts? Who is it that is noticing the thought? Who is it that's aware of the body? Who is it that's aware of the sounds around you? When you connect with the awareness, the one that is aware of all of it, then you connect in a deeper way to that truth of who you are that has infinite possibilities to create any kind of reality you want, a reality of joy or love or peace. So I'm inviting you, each one of you, I'm inviting you to say to yourself, what is it that I can do within myself to raise the amount of joy, to raise the amount of love within my life, to raise the amount of gratitude and appreciation that I have in my life? And I can guarantee you that the more you do that, you will feel more at peace. You will feel healthier. A lot of you know that you've heard me talk that a lot of times I hear songs in my head. That's how spirit communicates to me. They play songs in my head. sometimes good, sometimes not so good, you know. But but I like it all because I want to know when I'm falling off the path a bit. But the one thing that I've heard over and over and over from Spirit is when I am not feeling well, when I'm feeling physically sick, what they will tell me or they'll play a song in my head is, Brett, in your heart, you need to raise your vibration and remember that love is the most powerful healing force there is out there. You know, I am so grateful to be here and to be part of this because I've got this altar set up and my candles around me. I have my teacher here, Jesus here, and Ram Dass is here on my altar. And I'm just so filled with love and gratitude right now because I see this tremendous possibility for all of us to stop living an idle life, just a life of contentment. There's something more for all of us here. And maybe some people say, how can you be excited when there's all this, you know, dying and everything? Well, there's always been dying going on. There will always be dying going on. And we're each going to die eventually. And sometimes it's about coming to peace with that, to say, yes, I am going to die. But meanwhile, I'm going to choose my life to the best of my abilities, that I can soar, that I can rise above this virus. I can rise above the poverty in the world. I can rise above, you know, the hatred and the prejudice and the biases, rise above it all. And you don't have to be caught in what everybody else is doing. What is it within you? Who are you? Who are you? Keep asking that question to yourself. Who am I? Am I this body? Am I this mind? Because we know that when we die, our bodies and our minds will stay here on this planet. Who is the one that's going to continue on? Who is the one that is aware of it all? I think I'd just like to finish with a prayer. Heavenly Father, beloved Creator, those beloved teachers and saints and sages that are around all of us right now, help lift us up into our hearts. Help us to open up and awaken to that truth of who we are. We don't want to just live mediocre lives. We are ready. We are ready to expand into something greater. And so that we can feel that within ourselves, that love and that joy within ourselves, and that we can be channels of that as well. Help us to empty out and let go of all those things that we are not, so that we can experience the one thing that is always there, that always remains, and that is the truth of who we are. We are so grateful for all of your love, your blessings, and your support, and we open up to receive all of it. And for that, we are truly, truly